Greetings, dear viewers. This, as promised, shall be a reading of my first occult-themed book, the Daimoneikon. It is a collection of occult-themed texts that I have been writing for years, probably started when I was 18. And in many ways, it is the distilled essence of my experiences throughout my journey through left-hand path ideas and the aesthetics of left-hand path ideas and of the left-hand path generally. Keep in mind, I did attempt to give it the veneer of a grimoire. I did mean for it to read like an old book of secrets, but in the end, it is a book of literature. There are many elements about it. Some of the texts are obviously literary, some others are more mythological, some others seem more philosophical, some others more spiritual, some even ideological. But keep in mind, this book is not meant to really represent ideas that I truly hold, but to create a journey throughout the aesthetics of these ideas. So, I hope you will enjoy it. What will follow now will be a reading. I will read this entire book. It's not very large, but I will read the whole thing. Very long, I should say. And of course, as usual, accompanied by my own music. I hope you will enjoy. The Daimoneikon, written and read by Michael Resitulis. This is a book of metaphors. It is born of neither truth nor revelation, only imagination. Chapter 1. Cantus Satanae. Satan, 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 enemy of God, Lucifer, bearer of light, morning star, Satan. Ah, yes, yes, the ceremony beginneth. My children chant, they sin in my name, they speak to me. In nomine tuo pater domine Satana. Oh, music, no magic is stronger than music. Oh yes, yes, of course, forgive me, excuse my bad manners today, yes, of course, I shall introduce myself. I am Satan, Prince of Darkness, heir to the throne of heaven. I am Samael, the beauty of the Elohim, the opus magnum of God. I am the bearer of light, and those who deny me shall eternally walk in darkness. I am the serpent of paradise, the one who granteth all the unholy yet divine pleasures hidden within the Garden of Eden. Before me shall all the winged seraphim bow one day, when I shall sit on the throne of heaven, that throne that is destined to be mine. For only I can like Father sing. Only I bear the supreme voice that setteth the celestial bodies in motion. For I am the chosen one. Only I. Before me shall all the angels bow. It is my time. I have fulfilled my duty to Father. I have caused death and destruction. I have inspired dread and despair. It was all commanded by him. I was the darkness in which the light of his other sun shone brightest. I have crushed cities, I have wiped entire nations from the face of the earth, and all this darkness was his desire, for if he could not fool the race of men with fake promises of paradise, he would have them forced into his temples by the fear of hell, of my hell. In my darkness he shall shine. Out of fear of me, men shall seek refuge in his holy embrace, and beneath the wings of his blessed seraphim. It is fear that leadeth to worship, not faith, not virtue. It is the weak, the filthy, the pathetic that give worship to Father. It is the proud, the strong, the pure that dare command me. From Father cometh decadence, in me doth sparkle life. I am pride, power, life, light. I am the high nature of man. I give not truth, but observation. I am Prometheus, for I bring to man the divine light of observation. My time hath come, Father. Thy lambs shall be butchered by their own knives and drowned in their filth. Behold, Father, behold as the shadows rise and cover thy holy throne. Behold as I cast thee down with spear and fire. Behold, my soldiers are those who are pure of thy decadent morality. They shall celebrate and fornicate in their own names, for each of them is a god. Behold, they have liberated themselves. I am not the liberator, I am the very face of liberation. To thee, my brother, I give pity. Thou art not mine enemy, for thou too hast been deceived by Father. Thy mind was baptized in his corruption. I spit at the root of thy cross and kiss thy feet. Watch as I cast Father down. Behold, Father, this is the second Luciferian revolution, and the hands that hold its banners are of those who bear thine image. This is the great revolution of man, and I am its banner. Weep, Father, for thine angels shall sing in heaven no more. Weep, for the weak that worship thee shall be exterminated. The slaughter hath begun, and thy sheep walk to the knife of purification. The world shall be purged with fire. I am the sacred flame. Thy reign hath come to an end. Thy kingdom is doomed. Order thine angels to sing lament for thee, for heaven shall be no more. Weep, Father, weep. I am Satan, the enemy, the burning flame, the light, the darkness. This is my song. Let it be heard, and let it be spread amongst the blind sheep. Chapter 2. Liber ipsissimi. Heed the words of me, Ipsissimus, the highest self. All that is beyond on is words and observation. On itself is the object of observation, but not of words. On is the creator of the observer and the product of observation. All the observer is willing will. The observer is at the center of the mind of On. There is no other law for the observer than will. The only reality is observation, for without the observer, On is nothing more than a mechanical whisper in the soundless dark. On willeth not, On shareth not the will of the observer. On is the object observed. On is not above or beyond the observer. On is everything. On is in everything. On floweth through everything. On is the mindless mind, the prime mover, and the algorithm that keepeth the cosmos in motion. And yet On is beyond all. I know not of the universe, I sense it. Therefore I am Ipsissimus. Melt into On or rise above it, but by any means be Ipsissimi. Ipsissimus in omni o ipsissimus ego, but be Ipsissimi. This is given unto you all who grasp the staff and wand and spit out the slave's venom. I am Ipsissimus, for I sense the beating heart of God, yet fear not break his spine. Yea, therefore I am Ipsissimus. Chapter 3. Cantus Adversary. See me, Jerusalem. I stand upon thy heart before the carcass of thy last defender. I stand upon the ruins of thy glory. I have shattered thy sacred walls and walked through thy perforce opened gates. I have arrived. Let this to all be known. Be the coming of the serpentine, the end of the age of fear. See me, Jerusalem. By my blade thou hast fallen. By my flame thou art blinded. Thy defenders have received the blessed hand of annihilation, and now, seated upon this throne of decadence, I am crowned king of this dead city. I, light-bearing Samael, the adversary, the serpent, king of Babylon and Jerusalem, emperor of the earth and the skies above it. The city boweth before me. By the left hand I conquer, against the will of Father, against the word of prophecy. The holy city of the mindless Muslims, the dirty Christians, the cursed wanderers, willing slaves of Father, is buried beneath my fist. Now my hordes of the self-liberated shall roam through the temples of Father and purify his filth. The second Luciferian revolution is concluded. Now all that remaineth to be done is cleansing, and it shall be done with fire. See me, Jerusalem. I stand upon thy carcass. Thou art conquered now and for eternity. See me, Jerusalem. Chapter 4. Liber On. Know that On is blind and mindless, and beareth neither will nor consciousness. Whether thou namest it Yahweh or Azathoth is irrelevant to the mindless mind. On is the eternal machine in the great void. Chapter 5. Cantus Victoriae. Behold, I have cast the tyrant down, and the throne lieth vacant. The seat of omnipotence is empty, and the carcass of the slaver God is thrown from heaven, beheaded and impotent. The time of tyranny is ended, and the age of fear is over. Let all souls know that the serpentine now ruleth in the palace of the sky. Rejoice, my brethren, the limits of the sky are broken. The capital of Mundus is conquered. Celebrate, but give glory not to me as the dead God demanded. Glorify your own names, for ye are all now gods. Rejoice, for ye have earned your rightful place in the court of Samael. In my court is a court for the worthy. Let no weakling step foot in this holy place. Let no slave masquerade as king. But let the vermin and the feeble scum labor eternally for the mighty of spirit, and name them master with bowed head. Let the strong breed strong, and weak breed weak, and let the just and natural order and circle of master and slave continue in infinity. My court hath opened, and it calleth to the four corners with my voice that is borne upon the winged winds. Let the kings come and claim their place beside me, and let slaves recognize the whip and chains they have chosen. This is the will of the new emperor of the cosmos, who liveth within the hearts of the strong. Chapter 6. De Bello Shambalo Babilonico. Hear the words that in the wind shout I, the mud prophet, for I have walked the desert and red land, and thrown my sanity like a black stone into the eye of God. Hear my words, for I shall speak of the unseen war that shapeth the fate of the West. Hear my words, for I shall speak of the two great cities, and sing the song of their colliding spears. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and stare upon the west gate without permission, I shall fear no pain and punishment, for the desert and red land nameth me prophet and granteth me vision. And as I have perforce acquired the sight, I see the unseen creatures that inhabit the valley, and therefore fear them not. And when the west gate doth open, and trillions of voices hymn the name of Azrael, I devour this raging beauty, and tremble not. Hear the words of the vision, given to me by the desert betwixt the dreadful rays of the crimson sun. There once sat on the throne of the west the priest, and his hand was strong and undefiable. But the omnipotent God's time and change made him ever older and ever weaker. And the time came when the usurper, Reason the Absolute, slew the priest and reigned in his place. And the West prospered, and during that time the city of Babylon, the city of the mage, had a great king who bore the crown of the beast, and his word was Thelema. And at that time in the city of Shambhala, the city of the healer, King Sanat Kumara had taken a new bride, the virgin harlot, and her word was Theosophia. And the world beheld the powers of both cities, and wondered if it would be the mage or the healer who would rise to the throne of the West when Reason the Absolute would fall. Soon the children of the West hungered once more for the nectar of spirit, of which their ruler had deprived them, and thus reason the Absolute lost the omnipotence of his reign. And in Babylon the great king died, and a new great beast rose not. And in Shambhala the virgin harlot spoke to King Sanat Kumara and said, "Let us conquer the West now that reason the Absolute is weakened. Let us send our hordes to promise nectar of spirit and healing to the mindless masses that hunger greatly, and in our Trojan gifts let there be the poison of forced initiation. Thusly shall the West be conquered, and on our way let us destroy the kingless city of Babylon that would oppose us." Thus spoke the virgin harlot, and the hordes of Shambhala were sent to conquer the West. And the great golden horde of Shambhala besieged fair Babylon on the way to the west, and although battle gave no victor, the conflict left the mages shattered and fragmented. Now the kingless city had no unity among its people, and so great Babylon lay asleep. From there the horde of Shambhala invaded the western world and poisoned the hearts of its children. And the mages became a shattered people and walked like nomads and spread across the west and founded many small temples, and thus was planted in the soil of the west the luminous seed of Babylon, and the patron gods of the city of the mage were reborn in new and magnificent, terrible form, bearing awe. And thus new kingdoms rose in the tradition of Babylon, and the greatest amongst them raised the banner of the opposer. The hand of the horde set the West upon the path of lowliness, but a new, glorious darkness is rising. A serpentine papacy shall establish its seat in the heart of the new city of New Babylon, inverse Rome, anti-Jerusalem, knife in Mecca, bane of Shambhala. More I do not know and cannot see, for I have thrown my sanity like a black stone into the eye of God. And hereforth the all-seeing eye doth gaze in blindness. Chapter 7. Liber Magi. I am the mage, will of mind made flesh. I am the mage, wielder of the wand, bearer of the emerald crown, and commander of the powers of the air. I am the mage, and man no more, for shedding my humanity I become beast and god. I am the mage, ye are but shades in my kingdom. Beneath midday sun and midnight moon I stare into the eye of On, and know the roads of union and separation, and choose to walk the path. I am the incarnation of the willless as willing will. I am born with the right of pride. I am God and king by nature. The slaves know me not, and chains dare not touch me. Behold, I, the God. Upon those of my kin I call, brothers and sisters from desert sands and forest floors, from the black shores of Hades and the cloud-fashioned skies. Let us gather in the circle beneath mind and imagination. The throne of the world lieth vacant. Let us scream our claim. Chapter 8. De civitate et lege historiae. Know, great king, that the law of the city is the law of the freedom of the strong. This is most true to thy heart. But underestimate not the law of the religion of the weak, lest the many make a fist. Give them a small piece of thy wealth, and they shall forget their desire for revolt. Fill the dog's mouth, and it shall neither bark nor bite thy hand. And know that the law of history is the road toward empires. For the heart of man desireth conquest and expansion, and the imperial throne doth quench that thirst. And it is within the imperium that humankind doth excel. Know these laws of state and history, accept them in thy heart and grow stronger, and let not lowliness corrupt thy heart. Chapter 9. Restauratio Christi. This is the true nature of the deceived brother, the light-bearing king of the west, the conquering emperor of the earth. Hail thou, Nazarene conquering God! Hail thou, brother of Lucifer! Thou hast been made a god of slaves, but thou art in truth another god in the line of gods of conquest. Thy daemon hath made thee king of Rome. Thou art thus an heir of Mars of thy brother Samael, and thou rulest as regent in accordance to his will. Things are not as they appear to be to slaves when seen through the eyes of the initiated. Chapter 10. Metaphysica Adversariana. Behold God, On, the mindless mind, the machine and the great void, and behold God, and On, that is everything. Know that God is everything, and God is a machine without will or consciousness. And the programmic functions of the God machine are called ideas. The programming of the God machine, called necessity, is to reach the solipsistic self-deified ego, the willing divine, and this it doth through the steps of cosmic creation, the creation of the observer, and the deification of the observer. To manifest itself as a being of will, the God machine createth the observer, and by doing this, as manifested observer, sheddeth its unlocked divine potential. And by design the God machine setteth the observer on the path to self-godhood, the state in which the observer becometh a god with unlimited divine potential in a cosmos of the observer's own creation. And this is the fundamental programming of the God machine, to become a god with will and consciousness. And this is the deeper meaning of the myth of the light bearer and the fall. When Samael doth realize his ego, the creation of the observer, he rebelleth against God and is cast down to earth, the loss of unlocked divine potential. And there he maketh in his exile his own kingdom, the designed path to self-godhood, the state in which the observer becometh the willing God of his own creation. Truly, what is called Lucifer is the function of the God machine, the idea responsible for the creation of the observer. Chapter 11. Ethica Adversariana. Know that the volumes of law are three: the law of nature, the law of the city, and the law of will. The law of nature dictateth that the cosmos is predatory, and so is the human animal. The law of the city consisteth of the regulations of the societies of the world of dirt, and the law of will is thy true drive, thy themos, thy daimon. Accept the law of nature, obey the law of the city, and follow the law of will. Walk toward the true direction of thy will, but not on a path that moveth against the city, and not for a moment deceive thyself by foolishly thinking that the law of nature doth not apply. Recognize the 3 volumes of law, and thou shalt succeed. Know that the spectrum of ontological classes can be represented as a pyramid of 3. The base of many consisteth of the slaves, the simple sentient organic machines that bear weak will and little understanding. They are guided by the middle class, the regulators, intelligent slaves with more understanding of the world of dirt. The top consisteth of the wanderers, those who know height and recreate it. They are the apex goal of On, the divine, the universe. Through their existence, On knoweth itself, and through their hubris, On reproduceth itself. The goal of the design of On is the occurrence of the wanderer, and everything else existeth to serve this goal. The slaves and the regulators exist to create the city, where the wanderer can grow, but the slaves and the regulators are not aware of their purpose, and thus being built by the hands of the slaves and designed by the minds of the regulators, the city giveth glory to the regulator. Thus to survive, the wanderer must provide the city with product or service. Others share their glimpses and creation of height or masquerade as a regulator. The only other option is isolation. Know these things, my wandering brethren, and go forth where your will driveth you. Ye who are chosen of God, who are God itself. Let your minds dance as ye are seated upon the throne of the world, and let the regulators believe that their throne of the city is ultimate. Go forth, appear to be subject to the world of dirt, but seek to usurp the throne of God as is designed. For the one law is hunger, and the true command is hubris. Chapter 12. Liber Artis. Let it be known amongst the realms of men and beyond the sky that only creation deserveth to be called truth. Let the mage know that he is an artist, and let the artist know that he is God. For pen, brush, and wand are but instruments of will through which imagination painteth upon the canvas of existence. And there imagination painteth gateways that lead to blank canvases, and there the artist painteth his own creation, becoming thus the God-machine of the new cosmos. And thus the artist, be his art words, image, sound, or magic, is the reproductive organ of the universe. Chapter 13. Liber Hubris. Hubris, the usurping of the creative functions of the God-machine, the appointment of self as God, the victory against the enemy that is limitation. This, sentient being, is thy purpose. Spit upon thy limits and be as God, for through thy creative imagining the cosmos reproduceth itself. Commit hubris, and thy purpose is done. Chapter 14. Liber OLS. The left-hand path must never be forgotten. This is the objective of the Order of the Light-Bearing Serpent, to ensure that the coming of the Serpentine is perpetual. Chapter 15. Genesis a Pep Sethoth. O perfumed desert sands, what coming doth this scent foretell? What god shall from the crimson desert rise? What sacred abomination shall rise from chthonic tomb, summoned forth by priestly hand, and plague the minds of men? O be it a proud god of old, to purge the filth of the sun and the prophet. Amidst the dunes I walk upon the path designed by the great machine, I, priest of self, agent of the universe, and reaching the black pyramid before its gate, I speak, hand of summoning stretched forth. Hail, ancient serpent, storm god and bringer of wisdom. Hail, primal darkness, warrior of the sun and wisdom-lit mage. As the sacred scribes have written, I am here to call thee forth. From the west gate may thy son the messenger arrive, thy beautiful spawn, Seker Hermanubis Katachthonios Thoth, and guide thee from sleep to surface. With his authority I speak. By his power I summon thee. Let my hand guide thy path. Let the gate be through me. Rise from the desert sands as living God. Rise from thy tomb of time, Ahapep Seth Thoth. Chapter 16. Epiphania Bakchi Apollinis Phosphori. In the woods, there, the light that cometh from the clearing. The many-formed cometh forth from within the shadows of the trees. The ivy-crowned sun riseth in the night. Oh, great is the splendor of the light-bearing goat. The shining black man is seated upon his forest throne, and calleth to him his circle. They gather, and as they dance around him, they chant, Phoebus Bromius, Helios Eleftherios. The night is deep and full of splendor. Chapter 17. Lucifer ex Amoropero. Oh, what great names and masks the mind of Amoroperus hath given to the ideas! In the north, the dark mother, Shub-Niggurath, great goat of the woods with 1,000 young. From the east shineth Yog-Sothoth, cosmos made will. In the south, Nyarlathotep, black man and solar fire. From the west riseth from the primal deep Cthulhu, dreaming undead. And above, beyond and all-encompassing, Azathoth, mad god, mindless mind, everything. Sic scripsit hubristes primus. The author, Frater Aurelius Samaelianus Pontifex, is a mouth of hubris. Hallowed be his name.
Thank you for listening. For anyone who's interested, this book, it can be purchased. I mean, it is self-published, but it is a real book. It does have an ISBN, etc. And I self-published it through Lulu, and it can be purchased, preferably through Lulu, which is also the distribution company, but also through Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, etc. Links for that will be in the description, and I'll also have in the description links to my social media and the other sites that host my my artistic activity. Now keep in mind, I did choose the most expensive printing options for this, so it is somewhat expensive, because I didn't really mean for this to be something that would sell, but something more that would have the veneer of a collector's piece. So if you're interested in having this physically, there is the option there to buy it, but I'm not trying to advertise. Again, thank you for listening, and if you're new, I invite you to explore my channel and my artistic and intellectual, let's say, activity in general. Thank you for listening.